That I acquired my cross-cultural skills by being in countries all around the world. I lived in Bombay, India. I lived in Tokyo, Japan. Is that Swiss money or American money? Okay. I lived in the United States. I lived in London, Britain. And I made so many mistakes in those different locations due to, as the ambassador said, due to misunderstandings, due to misjudging the culture, that I can now teach other people not to make mistakes. For Churchill is that you will be a leader that rises above the fray and you will see the big picture of vision and strategy. But I would argue that that is no longer the case. That if you rise as a leader and you are not somebody who can listen very well, you will miss vital intelligence from the bottom of the organization. Let me give an example. If you have an organization of 7 levels, for example, okay, and every level reports 50% of what they know to the next level, does anybody know how many percent the boss knows? Any mathematicians?
2%.
That's actually very good. It's 1.6%. So the boss will know 1.6% of the available information. The question is it the right 1.6% or is it the wrong 98.4% on which the boss, he or she, will base all of their decisions? So the first skill that a global leader has to have is the skill of communication. You have to be a top communicator. What happens when you don't have that is what we saw on 9/11, for example. I think we have heard about the rivalry between the FBI and the CIA, and they just did not communicate with each other. And so they missed vital intelligence that was coming up. The vital intelligence was there. They actually had the information, but they didn't listen. And you could argue, some people argue that the terrible terrorist attacks of 9/11, which I witnessed personally from the Brooklyn Promenade of all places, were a result of that lack of communication. In our organizations in the West, we have knowledge workers, as Peter Drucker calls them. We have people that know more than you. So if you're managing people, they will know more than you. So how do you herd cats, to use the phrase? How do you manage people that are not even in the office anymore? They might be working from home. They might be in an outsourcing team somewhere on the other side of the planet. They might be in a virtual team. And how do you keep them loyal? And I assert the only way to keep them loyal is to pull for the best in them, to pull for excellence in them, and to give them coaching and empowerment so that they can be the leaders that they can be. Right after 9/11, on the 12th of September, I received a phone call from West Point, the military academy at West Point. And the Colonel Joseph Leboeuf, was on the phone. And he said, "Tom, we need you to come over here immediately. The top brass has decided that we need to have not just competent soldiers, not just people who fight well across the world, but competent diplomats. People that are able to be in Frankfurt or be in Seoul, Korea, or be in Iraq, and actually be good diplomats." So I had to help West Point in designing a leadership curriculum that was globalized, and they've now incorporated all that in the curriculum of West Point. Every course has a cross-cultural component.